Hey everybody, it's producer Jay. So today I'm doing a follow-up on the Alfa Proj 357 6-inch model revolver. This is one that Misha actually did a review on this very same couch here a few years back, and I just recently picked up one myself to put it through its paces, having some 357 and 38 special ammo left over from a different gun, and decided that everybody needs a 357 revolver or revolver of some stripe. So I went ahead and invested in this one because they're under $500. They're fairly inexpensive, and whenever I shot Misha's, I thought the quality actually was quite good. You're probably gonna hear my dog snuffling around a little bit in the background. But a little bit about this revolver. These aren't particularly, I would say, popular or well known in the United States. They are quite popular, or at least common in Canada, from what I understand, and found in Europe as well. This is a Czech revolver, so made in the Czech Republic, and these are currently imported in the United States by Czechpoint, so you can find them on their website. And it's got a typical swing-out cylinder and all that stuff. I'll be honest, I'm not really a revolver guy. Most of my guns by far are semi-autos. I have a few revolvers. This is the most modern one that I have. So for me, this is primarily a range toy. As such, you'll probably do me seeing some handling things that would make, Colt Python owners upset, like swinging the cylinder closed like that and all that stuff. But again, this is a fairly inexpensive range toy for me, and that's pretty much it. It's also filthy, as you'll notice. I have shot this. I've probably had about 300, 400 rounds to this so far. I've never had an issue with it, thankfully. It is a revolver, so revolvers can never fail, right? But I have not had any issues, no noticeable parts wear or anything along those lines. But you can see in this that the gun is quite dirty, but I haven't noticed any machining marks on it, as far as like chattering marks or anything like that. This is actually printed there. Czechpoint has a very tasteful billboard on the side, I would say. I've heard some people complain about some of the finish wearing a little thin on these. I have not had that issue yet, and again, this is a lot of oil and grease, you can see there, because again, I just finished shooting it and I have not cleaned it. Some dog hair, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to shoot, just like a lot of revolvers, especially in 357 and 38 are. But it does have adjustments for windage and elevation on the rear sight, which makes adjustments extremely easy. In the video, you'll see me dialing in a little bit. I'll start off a little off target and then kind of walk my way in. At 15 yards, I was able to very consistently hit clay targets and soda cans, which is this main revolver's target. And at that distance, the front sight tends to obscure the target a little bit because it's a very beefy orange front sight. But the good news is that also makes it very quick and easy to pick up. It's not really showing well on the camera, but I think you get the idea. The trigger is fine. It's, again, we're clear. The trigger is fine. It's got a pretty nice crisp single action. I've heard just under 4 pounds is what I've read. Of course, I couldn't find my trigger gauge, my trigger scale, as soon as I went to do this video. The double action, I'm not going to say is gritty, but it's very heavy. It reminds me more of a military double action trigger, to be honest. Definitely not in a gaunt bad, but it's no Smith & Wesson Performance Center. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good, decent little budget revolver. It's Czech made. I think it would make a good little companion piece to a VZ58 or your whatever other Czech Republic guns that you've got laying around. Your Scorpions and your Brens and whatnot. So yeah, if you happen to see one, or if you come across one for the price and you're interested, especially for a range toy or a rough use gun, that you don't want to get your Colt Python or whatever rusty, this is I think this is probably not a bad option. But again, I'm not a revolver guy. There's a lot of things I don't know about them. I have definitely shot a lot of Performance Center revolvers. I've shot a Chiappa Rhino, which is the the top tier of revolvers from what everybody says, right? At least what sci-fi says. But and I have handled Ruger's, the GP100s and so on, and then I have some single sixes. So I'm a little bit familiar, but not, you know, intimately familiar. And I think that this is just fine for the price, it seems like. So it does fit my hand very well. Some people have complained about their pinky feeling a little bit crowded on the bottom, which I could see, but my hands are about medium size, and these fit pretty well. One other thing too is from what I understand, that this is most comparable to a Ruger 680, or I'm sorry, Smith & Wesson 686. To that end, I got these Hks Speedloaders. Actually, I got them on Amazon, of all places. I'm not sure if they know that they sell high capacity assault clips or not, but this works pretty well on 38 Special. On 357 Magnum, the little fat grip here kind of interferes with dropping those longer cases in. It's possible, it's doable, but it's just not particularly fast. Still a little faster than loading them in one at a time. So these were under $10, and again, I got them on Amazon. Basically, you just load the rounds in with the bullet end sticking up, rotate it to lock it in, drop it into your cylinder, rotate it to release it, pull them out, and then you're loaded. So you can preload a few of these and make reloading a little bit faster if you're out plinking around at the range. So yeah, our overall impressions of these are pretty good. And again, I'm no revolver snob, so what do I know? But yeah, again, I think it's kind of worth the money. But yeah, we'll cut over to some shooting real quick and show you some just kind of what it looks like in action. And then we will call it there. So before we get to that, if you have any questions, be sure to post them in the comments below. If you like this type of content, please be sure to click like. And if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and check out our backlog. As well, you can check out the link to our Patreon page in the description below. So this is Jay, and I will get you over to the range for some shooting.